Okay, good evening. I hope I'm audible. Okay, so basically, answering the first question, which pertains to how do fine dining restaurants typically differentiate themselves in terms of ambience, service, and culinary offerings. Now, there are six or seven very critical parameters which constitute this differentiation, but define this differentiation. The first differentiation comes with the design of the products and the service. When I say products and the service, it would be the outlet, the restaurant. In terms of design, its interiors, the comforts, the aesthetics, everything is more discerning, more selective, more, it has more finesse, it has a more panache as compared to a casual dining restaurant. So that is one aspect. Second is the product and the services. Now, a fine dining restaurant will have far more detailed, curated menus, the wine lists. The service would be very, I would say, very involved, very intimate, where the servers are very well versed with the menu, the accompaniments, the garnishes, what complements what, whether the food is adequate for the number of the servings as compared to, I mean, in relation with the number of people dining. They would even recommend you the kind of water, the different types of salts, the different types of what is fresh for the day, what is the specialty, what does the chef, what is the chef and the team's repertoire. It's a complete story. It's a complete evolution of the entire amalgamation of the product, service, and products and the service of philosophy of the restaurant put together. So that is the first differentiation. Now, vis-a-vis in casual dining, you would rather have a very basic eatery, like if you would go to any restaurant bar or casual dining place, you will see laminate wooden tops, or you will get marble tops. You will get comfortable seating, but not very plush seating. You may have blinds on the windows, but you may not have curtains. You will definitely not have any table linen. You will have paper napkins, paper serviettes. Uh, your glassware will be more or less all-purpose, like a pilsner or a lager or a stout or an ale will not be differentiated through the glasses. It will be a same, maybe a beer mug and a beer glass, which would follow all the beer service. Whiskies would be just old-fashioned. They would not be tall highballs or Manhattans, so far. Your cutlery starts with AP spoon. Anyway, I'll come to this in detail when we are discussing this subsequently when we come to that subject. So it is the design, interiors, ambience, product, and service is the offering which you are making to uh, uh, the offerings which you are making to your intended customer set. Okay. Second is the location. Now you will definitely like to make a restaurant, situate a restaurant where you think there is going to be a there'll be customers who would like to come and dine. I would definitely not invest into a fine dining restaurant where there are students. If it's a university area, but definitely if it's a Gurugram, it is close to a mall, it is close to a affluent neighborhood. It makes sense because the people would definitely like to visit there. People would like to come and experience. People would like to bring, entertain, dine, and have a good experience. So the location plays a very, very critical area. However, as far as casual dining is concerned, conversely, you would do it where it is a need, where the people will come out to eat, whether it's a cafeteria lunch, the lunch break, whether it's a evening, they finish office, they want to go for a drink and a quick snack before they head home. So it's more need based, it's not experience based. So location plays very important. Again, a restaurant bar could be even, most of the food and beverage outlets would be restaurant bars and bistros, cafes you will find on the ground floor. But when it's a fine dining, people don't even mind going up a couple of floors. And if you are in the fine dining restaurant, the kind of depending upon the kind of investment, you may even provide an elevator for people to come up, because then that is experiential. People really don't mind traveling 12, 15 kilometers to come and dine with you. People will come there for an experience and to have an everlasting impression and indelible memories of the evening or the soiree or the lunch they've enjoyed with you. Third aspect is positioning. How do you position yourselves? So let us take an example of the Millennium Center, or in Noida, you have a very plush, areas where you have multiple dining outlets and opportunities. Now, there may be four other fine dining restaurants, and as in compared to that, there may be 20 other branded and unbranded casual dining places. So in those four fine dining restaurants, you would like to position, where do you see yourself? Where would you want to be a A1 restaurant? So all those four, your existing competition, established competition, you would definitely get to know, you would research, you will learn how they are positioned, which is the restaurant which has the best following, which has the best reputation. Then there is a number two, number three, number four. The list will continue. Then you will have a philosophy as to, okay, I may start as a number three, but in 3 years I want to be between 1 and 2 and 5 years. I would want to be a market leader. So your positioning will define the vision and the mission of the investor. It is very, very critical how you position yourself. Your positioning is just not through your products and service. It is also through how you promote yourself, how you maintain yourself, and the efforts which you make in order to listen to the customer and consistently improve and evolve your products and service design in order to meet and exceed the customer expectations. The fourth is the expertise and the stylization which you want to offer to your focused customer set. Now, being an experienced person, a restaurateur, you would have spent years working your way through various different type of restaurants, and you will also keep reading and learning consistently about the changing perspectives and perceptions and latest trends about dining, whether casual or fine dining, and what kind of foods are trendy, what is the kind, whether it's health, whether it's Peruvian, whether it's uh, vegan, whether it is Japanese, whether it's sushi, sashimi. No matter what, you would like to consistently be abreast with the latest developments in order to uh, understand and come on the drawing board as to what would be your uh, the products and services, which I said in the first, the offerings which you will make. So you will need the expertise and stylization in order to be different. So expertise and stylization out here is going to be far more focused, far more, I would say, with a larger, deeper, and a higher platform repertoire than you will need for than a casual dining. For example, you may have a section of a Chilean menu in one of the restaurants which are serving, say, casual dining, which will have 4, 5 dishes or probably 7 different kinds of food. But you will probably do, enchiladas, you will do some wraps, and you will do tacos and some stuff which is generic. But when you come to, you want to do a fine dining Mexican or a Latin American restaurant or a Peruvian cuisine restaurant, you'll need to have a chef who has an expertise to do at least 5 to 6 courses in order to make a fine dining menu. And then stylization, how are you going to present it? Whether it's going to be on a different kind of serviceware, is it going to be pre-plated? It's going to be platter to plate? Is it going to be carved on the table if meats and the fishes, like the Brazilian concept? Again, what are going to be your accompaniments? How do you want to stylize it? Is it going to be a, I dined in a restaurant where it was a seafood restaurant where everything, all your accompaniments were in a boat. And the boat had small compartments in the side where all the accompaniments were there, which you could help yourself. So stylization again is a very important reason how you stylize every aspect. I mean, whether it's the entry, whether it's the decor, whether it's the bar counter, whether it is the show kitchen, whether it is the surface which you walk on, whether the kind of chair you sit, the cutlery you hold, the plates you see, the show plate you touch. So all the five senses get accentuated, and it should appeal all the five senses in fine dining. In not a fine dining restaurant, it's not important. You can there is a melee, you will hear noise all around, you hear people laughing, enjoying, because that's what they are. They want to have a casual atmosphere, they want to have fun. Fine dining is much more serious business. People do select to come to a fine dining because they want a very intimate dining experience. Intimate not just because of the fact that it's a very intimate time with who you're dining and the family you're dining with, or in case it's celebration or it's an event which you are celebrating. So it is an environment which is created in order to meet and exceed their expectation why the customer is coming to you. I'm sorry, there are a couple of other points. Hmm? I'm sorry, can I continue? Then the next aspect is bespoke menus, curated menus, whether it's food, beverage, cocktails, wines, mocktails, microbrew, you name it all, you need to have finely thought about, tried, tested, portioned, uh, evaluated menus. You need to study the competition. You need to have the chef who would bring in the kind of expertise where you have bespoke curated menus in order to meet and exceed. Because today, people are traveling. I would say 3 out of 10 people have an overseas dining experience or in best in class. So you will not like to be ordinary. If you're competing and you have to stay in competition, because even if in the locality you open, you're the first, within 2 years you will have competition. And continue and knowing that restaurant business has the highest mortality in the entire food and beverage or hospitality industry, you will need to consistently be steps ahead of emerging or existing competition in order to survive. Otherwise, you will perish. So, bespoke menus, whether it's food, beverage, cocktails, wines, mocktails, everything needs to be very well curated, very well thought of. And the last but not the least, the menus are not very exhaustive in fine dining, not like casual dining where you have 14, 15-page menus and you have 4 pages of others and 6 pages of main courses, 3 pages of soups, and you have small plates which fills in 3 pages and 2 pages which fills in salads. Or your region wise, you start with South Indian, you end up with Chinese or Thai. So because they do it in order to draw a population people en masse, so that even there are six people sitting on the table and six people at different tastes, they should be able to have something or the other. At least three courses available for them: a soup, main course, and an accompaniment for those people. Okay, not in fine dining. When you come to fine dining, you you would you would either go cuisine or a region wise. Having said that, you may be Pan Asian, you may be Indian, you could be Indian coastal, you could be South Indian coastal, you could be a Japanese, Italian, continental, Latin American, Mexican, American, neonatal, coastal, American fusion, French, and French Nouvelle Cuisine, which is a shortened courses as compared to the 11 course traditional or the classic French menu. So you have to have this very clearly laid out. I hope that answers the question. Okay, this is interesting, and I would definitely I put my thoughts together to this. In India, I don't think more than 5% of our dining population, really knows or would have the right etiquette in order to enjoy. So first and foremost, when people are willing to spend 25-30% higher for fine dining, and they are not expected to be paying extra just for the food, but the entire curated experience where all their five senses get accentuated the moment they enter your premises. Whether it's the first experience of visual appeal, what they see, how nicely stylized, clean, hygienically you are turned out, your welcome experience, what you smell the moment you enter, what you listen the moment you come in, and subsequently coming to the visual appeal, just sort of the food, but also then the taste. So all five senses need to be complemented with very fine, tailored, stylized experiences in order that people have, they feel that they are spending extra for the entire holistic experience of fine dining as compared vis-a-vis to casual dining. So these experiences are created through design, interiors, comfort, the touch, feel, smell, vision, taste, which you bring on the drawing board and you translate into a actual experience through your interior decorator and the architects. And of course, the chef who plays a very important role here. So even the restaurants today have especially, they contact and they pay copyrights and get ambient music, which is stylized in order to accentuate and complement the dining experience without it being obtrusive. So this is the extent people go to because they want to give such an experience so that people say that there was no aspect of dining which of our experience out there which fell short. Right from the entrance to the washrooms, everything is perfect. Then to get the next value for the money spent to fine dining experience, one must go. I would feel every diner should go with a very open mind. If you're going for a French cuisine and you have had you have experienced French cuisine earlier, don't walk with that baggage. I'm expecting something like that. It's good to expect something, but give an opportunity to that particular restaurateur, to that chef, in order to offer and delight you to put in that effort. If they're putting in that effort, go with an open mind without being too critical. That plays a very important role for any good dining, whether it's casual or it's fine dining, or you are dining on the road. If you go with a very open mind, you will enjoy it more than bringing immediate comparisons. Like you will not like people to compare your children with theirs and vice versa. Similarly, you will not like to compare what style one particular dish has been created by the chef and the other, because The food, a simple dal which is prepared in your house is not going to be the same, just one floor down or one floor above. As simple as that. Even your two children's wives or daughter-in-laws are going to be baking the same dish in a different way. It's all chemistry. Which ingredient is added when and how much in what preparation. That's what food is all about. Then respecting the policies of the restaurants is very, very critical, whether regarding noise, not allowing children below 5, uh, where restaurants deny plate sharing, request you a proper dress code, prior reservations. Allow the restaurateur, given these privileges, to put in these policies so that he can offer you the best experience. He is not shortchanging you because he's trying to give you the best experience, whether of welcome, whether of parking, whether the washroom, coming to food, beverage, service, carving on the station, hot appams being placed on your plate, or tawa chapati being put on your plate as soon as you finish one. It's not even coming in a bread basket. They're bringing a trolley right next to you and putting this. So allow them the privilege of allow the restaurant the privilege of providing you that experience by placing certain policies, respecting those policies without being too critical. And I'm sure there are a lot of ways where you can parlay, talk with the restaurateur in case you want some differentiation to be done. But don't feel that to push that, because there are certain privileges, if offered to one, it's very difficult to say no to the others. Then please stick to the recipes offered by the chef. Don't give your expertise. Oh, I've had this Chateaubriand. I had it 3 months back in London. It was not this way. This is not the kind of Béarnaise sauce which goes with it. It should be more peppery. It should have the. I mean, come on, leave it to the chef. He has mastered this through a chef who did something differently and wanted to bring in a new experience. So it's very important that you stop comparing and enjoy what has come forward. You may find it an average experience, but in no way the effort has not gone in. Appreciate the effort which has gone in. So try to create a holistic experience other than what is going into your mouth and going into your stomach. What was my overall experience? Did all my senses, did I find things appealing? Did I feel comfortable? Did I feel happy? What was the vibe of the my dining expo? I mean, that experience. What was the vibe which I felt? What was the energy which was inside the restaurant? These things play very important role, because this will differentiate you in your comp set and bring in the customer back, because he will have an indelible and a memorable experience when all 5 senses are if you meet 3 or exceed 3 out of those 5 senses, you will have them back. He will they are willing to forgive, willing to forget. If 3 out of these 5 senses are met and exceeded, you will be assured that the person come back to you. They will overlook smaller things. Then appreciate in case you have a dietary concern, in case you have a cultural concern, you have the menu which does not meet, or somebody in your dining group may have please talk to the chef. They will love to help you out with your allergies or your dietary constraints. Do not say that I want this. It may not be possible for the team. Rather say that I have this concern. I don't eat red meat, or I don't eat pork, or I don't eat beef. What do you recommend? Especially because I like red meat. But in the red meat, I would not want anything grilled. I would prefer something stewed. So allow the chef to recommend you. Okay? Because he will know what best and what ingredients he has in order to meet your expectation and to make sure that you have a wonderful experience. Then you know, fine dining guests should also understand that there is a lot more effort which goes behind making the menu and to make the restaurant work. So even if there is a menu, a 2 pages menu where you have different kinds of still and sparkling water, ultimately somebody needs to have the expertise of knowing the difference between these water, different types of water, the sourcing, the storage, and of course making the payment for the material. So it's a menu engineering, menu tailoring, menu trials, getting a menu together. It's a humongous experience which takes months, sometimes a year or even longer, which is led by very experienced individuals who have thousands of days of experience. So that effort, if you go with a mind to appreciate at least the effort, I'm sure that dining becomes very, very pleasurable when you go with that mindset. And even if dining or the food does not meet your expectation, at least be grateful for the effort put in by the team. That means a lot. Okay, I think Ms. Varishri, you missed out a question. The question there is, what factors should be considered when developing a menu for fine dining? Are you running out of time? We can do it some other time. There are 5 questions, and I just answered the second, and you have gone to the fifth. And you have gone to the fifth. Well, ma'am, actually made notes in order to talk to you. If you want to just make it a 5 or 7 minute one, then I can limit myself in terms of how much I'm speaking. Okay, because you jumped. Vani, come on, here. You jumped from second question to fifth. What do you expect me to do? Are you please? You can edit it the way you want, okay? Right. The first thing is, first and foremost, the market and customer mix in the vicinity that you are situated. Okay. So you need to understand what the people know. If it's a predominantly a particular culture, there are many Hindus out here, it may not be a good idea to put beef or buff. Okay. Similarly, if I'm in an area where there are predominantly Arabs and Muslims, with due respect to them or Sikhs, I would not like to put pork there. It's like opening your restaurant and closing one door of it. Why would you like to do that? Respect the culture, respect where you are in. So always know what are the customer mix you are catering to. Again, stylization of restaurant. See what are the kind of crowd around you. Are they top-notch bankers? Are they professionals? Are they business people? And you will get to know, there are certain areas, this area is very famous where a lot of doctors stay there. This area is very famous, a lot of lawyers stay there. A lot of real estate people stay there. Always know what are the customer you're catering to. It will help you define what offerings you want to make. And you should always study. You should follow the trends, read about them, go through blogs, go through podcasts, get another idea. There are a lot of people share about the changing trends in food, in ingredients availability, in the kind of food they would want, and the taste, and the methods of making food. So the new generation is very versatile. They are willing to engage into any experiential dining as long as it's a little different and you are able to provide it consistently. It's very, very important that you're consistent whatever you do. So always know what are the customers you're going to be catering to. Second, you must know what is the team experience. What is their expertise? Now, I may have a crepe Suzette in my dessert, but if I do not have my chefs who know how to flambe, it makes no sense. Correct? So it is very important that we must know what is the kind of expertise required. It's like having Rumali roti on the menu and not having a chef who does Rumali roti. Every tandooriya does not know how to do Rumali. Okay. So you must know while designing the menu and going public that you should have the expertise of whatever you have on the menu in order to meet the food and the service design. Food is the ingredients and the preparation, service design, the way it should be plated, presented, served. Okay. Third, raw material and availability. You need to have it available 365 days a year. So you'll definitely make a menu which allows you to procure material. Okay. There are certain things which most of the things you are available 365 days, but you may have daily specials or winter specials purely, like for example, methi related or saag related, which are very, very seasonal. You want to only give fresh and not give canned. So fenugreek, or whether it is spinach, the fresh spinach, you would like to do it fresh. So have a daily special or a special menu which can be placed on the table and promote it. Seasonability and raw material plays a very important role in menu design. Then, please, as I said earlier, cultural taboos related to meals, related to type of service, related to type of your location, related to uh, religious beliefs must be kept in mind. It should not conflict with your potential market and customers' beliefs. Okay? Do a good market survey to be different to existing competition. So go to the comp sets, personally experience, avoid repetitions, pricing mistakes. It's not necessary what you think is going to work for you is necessarily happening there. So try and find out the reasons of successes and failures of the recent past of this particular areas where the restaurant put the shut or the restaurant which are doing well. It's very important to understand the successes and the failures. Thank you. Okay, as I said earlier, all five senses need to be accentuated. You need to be appealing. You need to, trigger off a pleasant experience in all the five senses in fine dining, other than which is not required in the casual dining. Okay, casual dining, it is the price, it is the taste, and the portion, and the speed of service, which is very, very critical. But as far as fine dining is concerned, there is a lot more than that. Okay. So all five senses, every kind of experience, moment of throat. As I said, I think I spoke about quite a few, right from the welcome to bidding farewell, plays very, very important role with the washroom experience, toilets, everything thrown in. So then interior should follow a theme without being too entwined with the cuisine. Now, gone are the days where you'll have a seafood restaurant with live aquariums and nets all around, one fishing hook with a bait handling, and your menu, your plates, everything else fish, seafood, squid swimming, octopus on the napkin. No. In fine dining, you will have the food make its own statement. You may have a boat sitting on a side station. You may have a nice sail on a patio. You may have a plush leather this thing which you may find on boards. You may have some canvas drapes which will define the kind of the cuisine you are doing, but don't go overboard with it. Again, uh, let chef make a statement of the food from what he prepares and serves on the table. Have great quality of linen, good quality crockery, tableware, pots, pans, everything which the guest sees, touches, feels should be different, should be good. It's not necessary it has to be expensive, it could be different. And it should complement the aesthetics and the interiors of your restaurant. Your table layout should be very well thought of. You should have, in a casual dining, you will find all cutlery, spoons, knives, sitting in a basket in the center of your table, right? Here you will have at least 2 or 3 courses lined up on your table. You'll have a proper tablecloth before a tablecloth is put. There would be a base so the cutlery does not make sound. This crockery cutlery does not slip. And when you're putting your elbows on the table to eat, the corners don't hurt you because there's a base cloth in between. That's a kind of that's the reason base cloths were put. And also in case any spillage takes place, it gets absorbed. So have that. Have whether evening you want to put a lamp on the table for a very intimate light experience, or you and during the day you have a small flower bowl or some dry flower arrangement. Then uh, very critical. Fine dining, you will find the moment you sit down, the moment the water is served, even before the menu, as soon as the order is taken, there is an amuse bouche which is placed on your table. There are complimentary knickknacks for the people to wait while the food is being prepared. Because this is not casual dining where everything is a bain marie and you serve it and bring it. Here, the chef for a French onion soup will may have the stock, but he will finish the soup a la minute. So it's going to take longer for him to prepare than just pulling it out of the soup kettle or the bain marie and serve it with a little bit of grated cheese or the crouton which sits on it and serve it to you on the table. It's a different ballgame. So think about it. Put an amuse bouche so that the table also gets accentuated. People have something to do while they are talking and waiting for the food. Again, cutlery. Casual dining cutlery is smaller. Fine dining cutlery is bigger because you will tend to eat more with knives and forks and you will hold the handles are longer at times. Actual dinner knife is larger than an AP knife, all-purpose knife. The serrations on the knives, the steak knives are different to all-purpose knives and to dinner knives. Steak knives are different. Oyster, the forks are different. You have to serve authentically what a particular dish to be eaten. You need to provide that cutlery crockery for the person to enjoy. Escargot, your snails need to have escargot tongs for people to scoop with an escargot spoon so that they can enjoy that particular meal experience and not struggle with it. So it's very important that you have the right cutlery crockery. Go for cutlery crockery which is easily maintained. It can be easily polished. It always looks fresh on the table, spotless. You are able to wipe it, clean it after washing it. Get a cover design. Get instead of a mat in the fine dining, you may find a beautiful show plate made out of glass or crockery or brass or silver with stamp, and then it is only removed when your courses start arriving. There are certain hotels where fine dining restaurants where they have a show plate on top of that a silverware something on top of it they have another a bone china or a ceramic show plate, and though that ceramic or a chinaware show plate stays there because that's where your final course is served. It's only that EPNS or the brass or the copper plate below may be removed, but your final dining plate remains there, and you have the soup and the starters are all served pre-plated or platter to plate on the smaller plates which are placed on this. Or even at times they are all removed and a fresh plate is placed. Because obviously, in a fine dining restaurant, you'll have a temperatured plate. For cold food, you will have a cold plate. For a warm plate, for a hot food, you'll have hot food, which is not there in casual dining. Your beer glasses will be chilled before the beer is served in it. Your wine, your wine is served at the right, perfect temperature. You will have a wine bucket sitting right next to you. You'll have the champagne chiller sitting right next to you. Even the beer is put in a chiller and put right next to you after portioning it out in as many glasses. Leftover beer is not left on a table. It's the wine. If it's a red wine, it is put on a cradle and left on your table. That is the amount of stylization and specialization which is required. So every aspect, even the glass use in which the water goblet, you will not like to serve water in a highball glass or all-purpose glass. You will actually put a water goblet which takes 7.5, 8 ounces. and serve water, and the water looks great in it. If it's sparkling water, it should look amazing in it. Correct? And then each and every aspect of what people can see, whether it's the trolleys, your cooking trolleys, your side stations, your show kitchen, the chefs, what they're using, the knives they're using, the chopping boards they're using, whatever is coming in contact with the guest's vision should be absolutely above average. It should be at par with the best which you are competing with, or even better. So that is another important reason. Your trolley should be your wine trolley, your beverage trolley, your on-table carving trolleys, your carvery sets should be the best in order to in order to make sure that you give a complete experience to the guest. Passionate 24 by 7 hygiene and maintenance is key, which is always better than the casual dining restaurants. You know, nobody will bother a stain on a side station or a carpet in a casual dining. A casual dining will not have a carpet at all. They'll have wooden parquet flooring or they'll have tile flooring, hard surface. You may have a carpet because the person when they're walking, it's such an intimate dining experience. You may hear only a courtesy and hushed conversations in the entire restaurant, the little ambient music playing behind. Even the footsteps on the people walking, whether the servers or the guests, is not heard because it should not be obtrusive to your dining experience. That is the kind of finesse which goes into fine dining. So, as I said, cover layout, placing of your equipment, cutlery, crockery plays a very important it plays a very important role. Your positioning, you know, when we used to set covers uh, in fine dining restaurant, I remember they used to follow rules. The maitre used to check with the ruler. You may have seen some hotel films and all where, you know, if in a fine dining restaurant, you can actually see straight, all the glasses will be straight. If you see them at an angle, they will follow a straight line in the angle, any angle you look. And same will be your napkins, cutlery, crockery. They will all be in one line, whichever direction, whichever angle you see. That is the kind of eye for detail which is required in order to be successful in fine dining, because otherwise you will say, "Arey, what was so different between that casual dining place around the corner and here?" This is the experience you have to create by being that specific and being so passionate about what you're doing, right? And then table seating plays a very important role. You will not have tables rubbing with each other, back of the chairs rubbing with each other in fine dining. No, 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 no. May have tables so far apart that nobody can hear the earshot. So, what is the conversation, a general volume conversation taking place with the next table? Because it is a very intimate dining. Now imagine I'm having the best Japanese steak where I'm paying $700 for a steak. I would not want somebody yelling, screaming, kids screaming on the others in the next table, or somebody discussing his business problem while I'm enjoying a medium rare steak and having a glass of the best Chateau Mouton with it. You understand? So the table seating and the placing is extremely critical when it comes to fine dining. Here, again, availability of exclusive wines, sake in case you're Japanese, or Pan Asian, champagne, spirits, definitely accentuates your experience. And how do you serve it? How do you place it? How you create the visual appeal? How you display them is very, very critical. Okay. Now, Vani, it's a very huge subject. Now, let me tell you, You can never go wrong about pairing food with wine in case you enjoy wine. Why? Because wine, the way I appreciate, will be appreciated differently by the other. If I take out seven complexities in a wine, somebody may be able to pick up 11, somebody may be able to pick up only two or three. It is for you to decide what is the kind of wine you enjoyed having a particular taste. So experience, collect. There are so many studies on this. It's open in any public domain. You want to see what pairs with French food, with which wines to pair with even tuna, which as specific with tandoori chicken or a butter chicken. Everything is available. Try it out. See what it pays. Give the opportunity. Have your sommelier or your bar manager or even your maitre have at least 3 4 options available for the client. I mean, the guest should not feel that you're being silly. So say, sir, normally these we for recommend, but we'll be happy to know in case there is something else you have in mind. There's no golden rule that a Chablis has to complement seafood or fish. You can have even say one Castor Kapustule or a German wine or a Riesling or a Rhone district wine which may not complement seafood or a red which may not. I mean, there are no rules. It is all acquired taste. Wine is a very acquired taste. Let people experiment. Let your team experiment. Let your chef, through his expertise, tell you everything there is. I mean, you cannot hold the restaurant or the client guilty that he's not pairing properly. You understand? It's such a huge subject. Even the connoisseurs today, the wine connoisseurs who taste and try 1,000 wines every year and give it a certification, they say that we are not mastered wine. It will not take one lifetime to master knowledge in wine, because the same vineyard is same grape, same varietal is creating so many wines. It is how you're making the wine, how long you're allowing to cure, how long you're allowing it to age, how you are, in what are you casking it, the material, everything, and which market you want to sell it to. All these play very, very important role as to what you would want to do. So wine is a subject. Yes, you should know the basics and you should be able to recommend those basics. Okay. Yes. Okay. I got a question. I got a question. See, any good establishment has multiple listening posts. The first listening post is maximum twice, not more than twice, during the meal. So I hope you're enjoying your meal. I hope you enjoyed your cocktail, not more than that. At the time when you're bidding farewell, we hope to look forward to seeing you again. The customer says, fine, that means the customer is not coming back. Feelings inside, not, not, what is the E in that? Feelings inside, not exposed, something like that, yes. So if you say fine, you should always, the manager or the in charge should try to engage and say, how do you think we could have been better? You should allow the customer to open up and say and appreciate that he gives. Believe me, 7 out of 10 people don't even tell you that they've had a bad experience. They just walk away and they'll never come back to you. And those 7 out of 10 will prevent 700 more not coming to you. Whereas a happy guest who makes it very public, that is very happy, may be able to get you 3 4 customers. Unhappy guest will prevent 100 customers from coming to you. That is the exponential effect, cascading effect which a bad experience does. So always engage a customer who may just say fine or say I'm unhappy. Do whatever it takes to make sure he goes with a positive experience by taking educated steps of customer recovery. So first is verbal, it's direct. Second is having feedback forms placed along with the check. When the check is placed on the table, make sure you have a clean, nice, stylized pen, nice leather folder, not Rexine. You place it a nice fountain pen inside. You make sure the guest, and request the guest, we would love to have your feedback. Some may do, some may not do. Most of they just give it to the child to fill it. Fair enough, let it be. Then third is because nowadays at the time you enter your email ID and telephone number is taken, you can always send them a WhatsApp message with a questionnaire. They're all linked to the software. Within 24 hours of the customer dining with you, automatically system generated email or WhatsApp message goes that we would appreciate your feedback. Please click on the link. Even if 10% of your diners are providing your feedback, you're doing a good job in collecting feedback. Discuss your feedback on daily basis. Make sure that you check through all social media and your software which tracks the moment your restaurant's name comes up. There is software which tracks it, translates it in the language which you are comfortable with, and provide to you. Make sure you respond to it. Whether sorry or thank you, please make sure you respond to your any feedback on public domain within 24 hours. People who are reading it are not that interested or concerned about what the experience had, but how the establishment has handled that particular experience, especially in case if it's been a bad experience. Nobody wants to read good experiences. That your rating itself will show. But how you emerge from a bad experience and what efforts you take. In my experience, I've had guests who have had genuinely bad experience and I've actually put it there. Yes, sorry, we had a bad day. And this is my telephone number. I would love to host you whenever you're visiting the city next time and have made it up. I had lived to the promise. The people have come, whether it's 1, 2, 4, they have dined again, and I've given them such an experience. They've written very good about it and forgotten that. And those are the people who will actually spread the word, especially more having had a better experience first. So the recovery plays very, very important role. It doesn't cost you a dime complimenting a dish which does not meet a customer satisfaction. Because remember, he if he protests, I'm not going to pay for the dish. Same such perfectly all right. I would do not expect you. Rather, I would give something else to you with my compliments or a dessert from in case no, I don't want. I've eaten. No problem, sir. Have a dessert. I would like to. I'll tell you why. You know, there's a concept called COPQ, cost of poor quality. Now, this is something the restaurant or any organization that understands COPQ can never go wrong. It is not the perceivable cost of the dish, which is actually uh, the cost is the damage which you are incurring. Your reputation, which is getting damaged, is not perceivable. It takes a lot more to win back a customer than to and to retain a customer than to lose. Now, I'll give you an example. Somebody comes to your outlet and he's had a meal in which the main course he did not like. He goes, nobody checked with him, nobody gave attention, even if he ticked or he mentioned enough service recovery was not done or no service recovery was done during his experience. He goes back and writes in TripAdvisor or Zomato, I had a disaster. He places photographs. There was a cockroach. He puts a photograph. I had this, I had a hair. It is damaging. These things are very damaging the moment you have visuals coming on social media. What you will do, you will write to the guest, oh, I'm extremely sorry. Can you remove that post? We'll host a meal for 6 or 8 people. So for that dish, or probably a 1,000 piece main course or 2,000 piece main course, you are ending up spending 15,000 rupees subsequently. So it is exponential what you do in order to win back a customer after you already lost him. So cost of poor quality is very important, and that's the reason. And it happens. You may have by accident something go wrong, but you should have the modesty and humility to accept where you've gone wrong because everybody will give you another chance. It is that the senior most person of the establishment should go and say, sorry, we made a mistake. It was unwarranted. It's not like who we are. Allow us to make some amends for it. I remember once I was having an experience and the restaurant had closed. It was closed to about 11:30. So I was having my breakfast as the general manager of that property, and the guest entered and wanted breakfast. They said, it's shut. Please go to the room and you order in room dining, or we'll serve you whatever you want a la carte, but complimentary, this thing is off. He got so upset. His wife was already eating. She had some food on her plate. She said, you shared with me and this and that. He said, no, I'm leaving. I'm going to sit in the car. You finish your breakfast and come. I overheard that. So I got up, and he had seen me. They said for 2 3 days he had seen me, and I was there. I must have said hello to him. So I walked up to the counter, and he was screaming, "Give me my bill! I want to leave." This, that. He was raving and ranting. So I caught hold of his elbow. He was much younger to me. I said, "Please come with me." Very affirmatively, I said, he said, what? I don't, where are you taking me? Who are you? So I said, I'm the general manager. You're going to come and have breakfast. No, no, I'm not going to eat. That's very kind of you, but they're spoiled. I said, you saw I'm eating food. I got up for you. I'm not going to eat the food till you come and join me. He relented. It is because I made it a little personal, and why not? Why will I not make it personal to make sure that somebody had a good experience and checks out with a great experience and wants to come back? I won him for life. Even if I'm not a part of this establishment today, he yet goes and stays there. And every time he calls me from there and says, I'm sitting in a restaurant eating. So this is what is required. If you're a passionate hotelier, you will do whatever to make sure that no customer walks out with a bad experience, because the moment an unhappy guest walks out, it's very difficult to get him back. So this is one rule, it should be followed. So social media, addressing, answering, prompt response, effective service recovery, uh, humility, uh, gratitude, modesty play very, very critical role in terms of taking this thing, feedback, and working about it. Now, the feedback which comes to you should be taken by the restaurant team and the chef team, divided into 3 parts: product related complaints and feedback, service related product and feedback, and the others. Okay. Which could be ambience or comfort, air conditioning, this, that, hygiene. Do a Pareto analysis at the end of the month, that which are your key areas which are getting affected, which part is more complaints, which part of service it is the drinks delay, is it the temperature of the soup, is it the repetition of the breads which is taking time? Analyze those, make a Pareto analysis of which are your problem areas. Select out of 10. You will see that out of those 10, there will be only 3 which will impact 3 such problems which will impact 70% of all the problems or the complaints which are coming. Weed them out one by one. Make sure that you do adequate training, service design. In case service design need to be tweaked, your SOP or process and standard it needs to be tweaked. Tweak it, make it customer centric. You don't define how the customer should have experience. Go rather by the experience the customer has and tweak your system in order to meet and exceed his or her expectation. That is the way it should be done. Be customer centric. Always put the customer in the center of whatever design you want to do, whether you want to do menu, you want to do your service, you want to do a wine list, you want to do your process, you want to do a welcome experience. If you put the person who gets impacted most and who pays you for that in between, when you do that, in the center of that, you cannot go wrong. See, I did my hotel management from IHM CTN and then did Oberoi School. And if I would say that the kind of courses which we have to offer have the kind of expertise and the panel of experts we have and the faculty we have has spent so many years. I mean, put together, it is hundreds and thousands of days of experience which has come. You will find such a our students will find such a focused and a refreshing change in a rigmarole course in any ordinary college than this one. I very strongly feel that we don't want to teach them what is available on any public domain. Today, I can watch 100 videos and see what the wine service is all about. I can learn it at home. But the communication I will have, the kind of a background I'll have when I'm opening and I'm serving to the client, with the kind of knowledge I have in terms of basics of wine and how a customer enjoys it, which you will be able to understand in the syllabus which we will offer, but most of the students, any regular institution. This is where the expertise comes in. So this is one example. If there is a prospective chef who's elevating his knowledge, he's already at a first commie level and he's aspiring to be a chef de partie. Today, if he goes to our courses and he goes through facility planning modules, he will know what takes in order for the kitchen to get prepared with its support system, auxiliary and ancillary support, which a good kitchen running does. What are the kitchen shooting which goes with it? What should the exhaust should have? What are the fire control systems? What is why the stainless steel uses 310 and where is 3404 steel grade is used? What should be a wash-up area? Dishwashing temperature should have. So dishwashing temperature should be what? What are the cycle? There are so many things our students will gain in order to become leaders. Because if they have knowledge, if they will be able to replicate this and apply this knowledge to their places of work, they will be always better than the others. And today, if you are better able, you're better equipped, you're more competent, you have more knowledge, you have chances of growing faster and achieve your career goals faster than what the others would do.